It's death. It's taxes. And it's another week where the Warriors and the Raiders win, ladies and gentlemen. Round 13 in the NRL is in the books. The Back Yourself podcast is here to talk footy. After an insane Origin performance on Wednesday, everybody went back and played for their clubs this round.
Except for KP.
And there was a bit of a return to normal proceedings as far as favourites actually winning games until Jamal Fogarty does his groin and they go out and win for no fucking reason.
Well, it would have been pick and win anyway.
Yeah, no, but if he played, they probably will fucking lose. That's this sport. Because now when he comes back, I guarantee they're going to lose.
Don't rule my upset alert.
I'm just giving them a sneak peek preview into next week. But anyway, Chris, on a better note, a great round for the Back Yourself podcast. 5-2 against the spread. The only cunts that fuck us over yet another week are Broncos, which we will get to those motherfuckers. But outside of that, a great start to the round and a pretty good end to the round with Super Saturday, Souths giving up and Para not quite getting there in the end against their arch rivals.
5-2. Oh, yeah, there was only 7 games.
Well, let's say 6-2. We'll smuggle New South Wales in there for the sake of it.
Yeah,
it was a good week for the Back Yourself podcast, and it was not a good week for the Newcastle Knights, who are back to their old ways of playing a first-grade caliber opposition and going immediately back to not scoring. Did you want to just jump straight into Knights, or did you have any overall comments for this one, sir?
All right. Zarafrost Brothers, shout out to you guys. James especially. This was the first time you actually went to the game and they won for you, so I'm happy that
it's been a while.
It's been a while, so shout out to him. I don't know why you can't be so worried like throughout the week. Like it's nice at the end of the day. So, but like we always do between these shit teams, is like congratulations on your victory. You can still suck ass. Like let's just say the way it is.
I feel like
Well, they
a bit
deserve
harsh this
credit.
week. They played Knights. They beat them handsomely. It's like,
Did they?
is this the week to be like Dragons? You can't suck
But they're not good.
because
They're 8th, aren't they?
the chat coming after them beating Brisbane was, oh fuck, look at the Dragons, right?
Yeah.
But this week it's like, oh well, yeah, they beat Knights. Like that's cool.
Are they 8th?
Dragons? All right.
They're not a top 8 team.
Well, who is? The morons below them?
Well, South.
Souths, Dolphins, Broncos, Roosters. I'll get to those sons of bitches. Tigers.
Well, I
Panthers.
don't know. I just
We have a new team 17th, which is great. We actually
Tigers.
covered this week, yeah.
look on the Dragons front. It's probably less to say than the Knights front, so I'll get it nice and easy. Congrats on your win. I didn't see much from you cunts to say that you cunts are just like have turned the corner. That Brisbane game is something that I've called is just simply showing how bad Brisbane are more than anything else. So, look, you may have beaten Brisbane, but everyone fucking does these days. So it's not like
I'll phrase it to you this way. What did Dragons have to go out and do on Friday for you to be like, oh, Dragons are actually good? I don't think they could have done anything because
no.
that's where
only
you see
scoring
Knights.
20 is like
That's where you see Knights.
I
of
think
like-
they should have scored more than 20.
If they beat Knights 50-0, you'd be like, well, it's Knights. They can't even score.
No. Then I would be like, at least Dragons executed that they scored properly. Like, it was a bit like, all right, here and there, they kept Knights in the game. By keeping it low,
They were not in the game.
by keeping it low scoring, you're keeping Knights in the game.
Yeah,
If Dragons go out there and score 20 with 26 points, Knights are done. They'll never get to that if you leave them on the field for 2 games.
For Knights to be trialists by the 65th minute and scoreless, like Dragons did their job. It's fucking Knights. Unlike the Penrith team from the week before, who just came out and bent over.
Yeah, but that Penrith team compared to this Dragons
like
team
Dragons-
is something else.
You're in the fucking ballpark with the 10 other teams who are all as garbage as each other, and you're no better off or better, like worse than any of those cunts. But I would say the best compliment I can give Dragons is you are actually perceived to be in the toilet tier with Titans and now Tigers, I would say,
Yeah.
and all the like Knights, the degenerates of the league. But you're not a degenerate of the league. You're just in
Roosters.
the hunt. And no, they're talented degenerates. Dragons, you come to talentless,
It's
but
like
you're
a
in the
tier
hunt,
list.
and that's considering your talent pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like. Come hella high water, Dragons are just in the fucking hunt.
Well, look,
every year when they have no players.
They have that one player that always plays gun, and it's always been Ben Hunt, but now it's King, right?
Yeah, fuck me, he's playing
they're
good.
playing out of their skin,
Yeah.
and that's why Dragons are where they are today. Like, King is playing so good.
All right. All right, put Dragons aside. Shout out to
Good
the
job,
Frost
Dragons.
Brothers. I'm proud of you boys. You guys actually went to the stadium and got a win. Knights. Woo!
What do you say?
Adam O'Brien. You can't continue this anymore. In my
It's
opinion.
got to go. He's got to go.
He has to go.
This is ridiculous.
And the audacity of him in the post-game press conference where he was like, Yeah, we got fucked by the schedule makers. Like, literally your only win is because of the schedule makers. In saying that...
Because they wanted KP to play.
Yeah. Which
Val played.
No,
so
for the real ones on the pod, I was like, I think Val's going to play and KP won't play. I think this will go to 9.5, which it did. Not that it mattered because Dragons won by 14 anyway. But it was an impossible task to expect KP to go from Queensland down to fucking the Gong and back up 48 hours after getting raped by the Blues. And I was not surprised to see Fletcher Sharp in the fullback. Like I said, we said in the Panthers win, there was nothing to suggest to me that they have a brand new gun spine that can tear it apart. No. It was literally Fletcher Sharp scored one try when 5 Panthers players were on him, and Dylan Lucas ran over Schneider 10 times. That was it. There was nothing like, Cogger and fucking Sharp are actually combining well. No. And you saw that 80 minutes of inability to score. And your only points towards the end of the game actually come off Leo Thompson, of all people, drifting and just throwing a short ball to Pierce Paul, which that's honestly a better offense than the shit that you can't run. There you have no offense.
They just get lost. It's just they're lost cunts.
Yeah, they're lost cunts. Yeah,
that's what it is.
I can't even really sit here and say that their like attacking pieces, as far as their lineup goes, is any worse than half these other teams in the league that manage to score garbage. But Knights, it's like they're even beyond being able to score garbage. When was the last time you saw some garbage ricochet try from Knights?
Well,
it doesn't come. Because they're not even in a position to be able to score. They don't even
contest to get the garbage. How many of those tall, long kicks do they just not contest? Like, why?
Yeah. What are you saving yourself for? Getting the ball and not scoring?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense.
You got to get field position to not score anyway. Like,
this is easily one of the worst teams in the league. They're so bad.
Can they not come last?
Like I said, when Bradman goes down, I don't see these cunts getting a win. I didn't take into consideration they're going to play that Panthers team, which we tipped them upset alert. But for this to be 4.5, on open, is that it?
Yeah.
Dragons are better than that.
Yeah,
Come on.
100%.
And they did prove to be better than that. So I feel like this was an easy kind of...
Dragons are in a shout for the
I wonder who took Knights.
Maybe at 10, you could be like, how can you lay 10 with Dragons?
You can. It's Knights. Legit, 16 points is enough to cover 10 against Knights. Don't make me get my phone out and go through all their scores week by week.
What about next week's score?
Fun Back Yourself podcast fact for the year. Every single Knights game has been unders. Every one. What are we, 13 rounds in?
Why?
Because Knights can't score.
Yeah.
But they don't go out and give up 50 either. They're not Titans. Yeah. So it's every game's 20-4, 24-4. 30-0. It's just the same shit every week. So this Knights offense, it's actually nauseatingly bad.
He's got to go.
He has to go, yeah. I think
how many are they just going to keep him to the end of the year?
They've been meaning to he probably should go a couple of years in a row now, but they just randomly go on roids at some point of the year and end up in the 8. But I don't even see that this year. These guys are so bad.
They're so bad. I can't see it happening this year.
I think Leo Thompson gets suspended for a crusher tackle from this game. No sign of Marju or Bradman or any reinforcements coming. I think it just goes from bad to worse. And another short turnaround for these morons. We'll get to that more in the preview.
The schedule makers.
These cunts, I think their season's gone. They're fucking so bad.
Yeah, they're gone. They won't make the 8. No way.
Yeah, I just can't see it. And there's really not much more to say. As far as a game itself, which normally I speak more into what's happened in the game, there's really nothing to say. This is a snooze fest of a game, and thankfully it was in a standalone Friday night slot where you could just turn it off at halftime knowing that Knights can't score.
Yeah.
But we move on to more entertaining proceedings and the Super Saturday, beginning with our mighty Gold Coast Titans. Going down in a thriller in Manila in a monsoon. What the fuck was the full-time score? All I know is that these cunts lost by 12 exactly, and the Back Yourself podcast was on plus 13.5. In this one, the Titans... Were they unlucky, Chris, with the full-time result on the scoreboard not actually reflecting how close the game was, in your opinion?
Yeah, they sure won. Melbourne, I wouldn't even give them 30 seconds they tried. They just didn't care. They just wanted the 2 points. And they got 2 intercepts. Titans got a sin bin from memory. No? They weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. 2 intercepts. The try that Verrill scored, which... I can't believe they pulled that back because there was no way anyone was going to tackle that.
I was watching this without audio. What was the bunker's fucking...
The decision was he hit Tino's leg.
Oh, come on.
Nelson's right there, and Nelson looks at him and watches Verrills go through.
That's
and
poor.
Pappy on the other side of the ruck is complaining. Like, he wouldn't have got there anyway, even if he didn't touch Tino's leg. So, rubbish call. And then at that point, they're only down 12. So, like, you're kind of on the edge of your feet, just waiting for Melbourne to score some garbage at the end. But Titans do enough.
This was a 12-point swing because they disallowed the Verrills try, and then Melbourne go up 18. But obviously, Titans, the beauty of getting them on these big spreads is their ability to go short and fucking score some rubbish, which they did score some rubbish. I think that it was the grubber through.
That Grant Anderson hit it backwards
for no fucking reason, which Titans probably deserve one of those after the horrible turn of events that happened in the
100%.
game. Between the Verrills no try, both pick 6 tries, and having to run out Weaver and Foran, I think they actually held themselves to a decent account. They tried their tails off. You're already garbage, and then the 50-50 and unlucky moments all go against you throughout the game, so you're literally no chance of winning, but it was more of a case of can these cunts cover the 12 at the end of the game. We actually waited all day and took 13.5, which would have covered us if Pappy kicks that dog wank field goal at the end of the game, but it was kind of similar to the New South Wales Queensland game of they should win 13+, but they just don't, and Titans, by the skin of their teeth, hang on and cover the spread.
Again, they didn't quit, right? But Titans, it's in them. The thing is, they score so many points, so it's like they're probably the most consistent offense we have in our competition, which is insane to say, but it actually is. The minimum they score is 16, and they may concede 70, but they score 16. So I want to shout out Tino for backing up, probably the hardest backup for him, being in the middle of the park and going out playing with these fucking idiots, because you played one set of morons come Wednesday, and now you got another set of morons. So fucking shout out to him for actually going out there and giving it a crack while David Fafita's still playing Queensland Cup. So
and Harry Grant's tired.
Harry Grant was tired. Xavier Coates was tired. Munster might as well not have played, even though I thought he played okay. But
I have a hot take on him when the Origin preview comes.
Preview comes. Hughes was okay. Pappy again was
insanely fucked.
I mean, every week he just seems to prove better and better and better. It's actually fucked, and it gets to a point that even today, Edwards played okay, but I mean, you look at the performances of Pappy and James, even in a losing team.
Nah, fuck that. Keep Edwards. I like him. He's done nothing wrong, mate.
He's done nothing wrong, but you look at this team and you're like, well, these Pappy, what else does he need to do to make the Origin team?
Nothing, mate. It's just got better, more classy players.
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like when push comes to shove, we may need some more offense, and Pappy's the one to provide it, and he's really providing the offense on Melbourne right now. He's really... Hughes, did a lot of the work last year. Hughes is not playing to that level, doesn't have that form, but Pappy is...
And you really don't get much from Munster and Harry on a week-to-week basis.
Pappy is out of his mind at the moment.
Absolutely. Agree with you. Again, unfortunate for the Titans. It's weird, because, when they pick and choose to try for, the whole contest...
They're actually good.
They are actually okay, but I don't get why. It's like they go out of the way to give up against teams they can actually beat, and then they fight tooth and nail and cover against top echelon teams in the sport, and then they just lose those.
Well,
anyway.
Titans always play Melbourne good, typically. I remember last year they went and Melbourne lost to them at Gold Coast and got absolutely pumped. They go up for those games, but then you watch them against fucking South and they'll give up.
I think last year they lost by 2, and the year before it was the 38-34 win. I don't even know how they won.
Yeah.
But going forward, for Melbourne, shout out to Jeremy, shout out to JB. It's just a nothing burger of a game.
Yeah.
They just went and got the 2 points and went home, didn't give a fuck. For Titans, I guess there's silver lining in your performances where they get slightly better, but there's no wins on the ladder scoreboard.
No, there isn't. But I wouldn't put them at the tier of Knights.
You put Knights below them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Knights are in their own tier, I think.
Yeah.
Even because you've got incremental improvements in Para, Titans, even somehow Tigers have 5 wins, so I still put them one tier above. But Knights are the fucking disgrace of the sport.
I can't believe they're still not last.
Yeah, well,
what does it need to do?
That's how bad. What's the Titans' differential? 120.
Yeah, it's fucking
shit.
Yeah,
but there's really not much more to talk about this game because we go into Townsville. Yeehaw! Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to some other. There's another Tigers fan you like. Or can I shout you out?
Because shout me out.
The eye of the Tiger, unfortunately, the upset alert rampage comes to an end. 5 in a row you were gunning for, but it just falls short because the Cowboys, they're so good that they won this game. How do you feel about the Tigers going down 32-28? What ended up being the thriller in Manila of the round?
Which team actually got more calls against them, Titans or Tigers?
Tigers.
It was absolute
It's Jared Sutton.
Jared Sutton. Ridiculous. He tried
every game this motherfucker refs is always becomes the dirt because of him.
Yeah, because he's just leading the favourite. I mean, you can name so many times. Okay, the mandatory sin bin, which the way he said it was fucking hilarious.
There's nothing mandatory about it.
It's not mandatory. But okay, no one's ever said that ever.
Yeah.
The sin bin on Dewey was the biggest horseshit call of all time. He literally is turning like a truck.
Yeah.
Every other cunt does that every single week and they don't call anything. Yeah. Sure. And
there's nothing professional about it.
Look, he's turning like a truck.
I actually didn't mind the first sin bin because I have a few comments about Luai.
Yeah, obviously.
What the fuck are you doing? But the Dewey one was just out of control.
Out of control, right? And then all of a sudden you look at your screen and I guarantee probably 90% of people that took the Cowboys line probably went 32-6.
99%.
99.
Who the fuck watching that game, including us who were on Tigers, were like,
they're going to come back.
Oh, they can cover the 9.5 at 32-6. After two sin bins, all that possession, all that giving up in the middle, all of the fucking momentum that Cowboys were generating, how bad Tigers actually look with the ball, running out Heath, and at this point, Naden and Bird and fucking Tuco had all come on. I was like, this is going to get to 50 to fucking 6.
But then,
and it wasn't even because Tigers are so bad or Cowboys are so good. Watching how that specific game had played out with the sin bins and the quit jobs, I was like, this is fucking finished.
Well, I actually thought Tigers, like we said, Tigers had given up on their season. Like, it was that bad.
They have.
Yeah, but
if you even considering the comeback to get to 32-28, they have given up on the air. Don't think that these cunts have hope.
Okay,
that
you're
is the platter of how fucking terrible this Cowboys team actually is.
Okay, I think you've just elevated how bad Cowboys are. Yeah. Which, I mean, we're not a podcast that holds back. I actually think among them winning, they were one of the worst teams of the round.
Season.
Of the round.
I swear.
I actually think other than Roosters, after today...
Yeah, Roosters and Broncos.
Broncos, they literally were one of the worst performers of the round.
Yeah, they were the worst winning side of the round.
Oh, that's by default. Yeah,
country They were fucking shit. Considering, everything that went their way and yada, yada.
Holy fuck.
Okay, you want to go through it one by one?
Were they worse than Knights?
No, I'm actually going to debrief
They were worse than Knights, weren't they?
Yeah. Cowboys, they started the game off, they get 50 calls. Tigers were quite ill-disciplined, so I understand some of them.
The first half was the Luai half.
Luai, what the fuck are you doing?
And you want to play Origin?
Pull your socks up, mate. Wake up. You are the marquee player of the franchise now. I know you thought you were in some orchestrator role where you're playing like Cooper Cronk when Galvin was there because you couldn't score. And you were defer to Galvin to let him do whatever. That was fine back then because you guys could at least score.
Yeah.
Now, your kicking game is subpar. Your defense is hit and miss at best.
Your speed
is non-existent. And your ball... I genuinely don't remember the last Luai try assist.
Yeah.
Where he gave a short ball to Samuel Alfano, who's decent, where he gives a cut out to the winger and he scores in the corner. It's just a whole bunch of nothing at this point. And for you to know that Jared Sutton's reffing and to just lie on the player for that long to the point where he goes, it's mandatory that you have to
twice in a row.
So Cowboys take the 2, they go up 2-0, and then it's just 10-minute freeway because Tigers, they literally play Terrell May 80 minutes every week, right? Bolle's not there. Royce Hunt literally can't play more than 5 minutes. It's incredible. And they don't have any middles, right? Yeah. So Twal also gets a head knock at this point and doesn't come back. So you're running out Tukey and the wrong Fainu for 80 minutes. You come back, it's 12-0? 12-0 because they missed a couple conversions. Cowboys score some garbage. Fair enough. They took advantage of the sin bin period.
It was 14.
It was 14.
Then the Tigers scored the miracle try.
As soon as Luai comes back on, they scored one of the tries of the season with Staffatoa crashing over to make it 14-6.
The untouchable.
Realistically, the start of the game couldn't be any fucking worse, and we're still covering somehow. So I'm happy to cop that.
And then Dewey gets sin bin.
Then they get a sin bin on the stroke of halftime. Tuco does that stupid offload and they drop it, and then off the scrum,
Luai
Drinkwater of all just glides past Luai who doesn't make the tackle. There's no one
Okay.
going back to cover Purdue and drink water in that situation. They score under the black dot. It's 20-6.
No, they don't score on the black. That was when Drinkwater grounded it.
He grounds it and then runs around the entire stadium just to go and miss the conversion.
Yeah.
20-6 half or 18-6, whatever the halftime score was.
Then they just come out.
And you're like, look, Tigers are still within striking distance, so that's good, I guess. But we know that conceding a try on the stroke of halftime normally will like make the cunts give up.
Well, not today
but
though.
Not this round seemed to be a different story. So that was the case. At halftime, I was like, look, we still have a chance. We can probably cover and lose, or like yada yada yada.
Then what happened?
We come out immediately, and within 60 seconds, I felt like the ref darted Tigers again in this instance.
Yep.
Not because I'm biased, because I don't give a fuck about Tigers at the end of the day. But in my eyes, Taruva gets taken out of the contest, and I don't give a fuck that the Cowboys player is pretending to have his eyes in the air. He literally just takes him out, and I'm not 100% sure Nanai doesn't actually knock it on into Taruva anyway, but they send it up as no try, and they decide to overturn all of those fucking factors when normally the cunt in the bunker's spineless anyway. But now he wants to come and have courage against Tigers when they're down 20-6. Okay, sure. It's 22-6 now. Now they need multiple tries to cover. And at this point, I'm pretty sure they'd cop another sin bin, which was the Dewey one. There was
No, the Dewey one was earlier.
No, it was now. Because they score with Nanai, don't they?
No, Dewey was in the first half. They had two in the first half.
Yeah, fantastic. So they like hold them out when Dewey's gets sin bin, which there was nothing professional about it.
Yeah.
There's no way Bateman even gets close to the ball anyway, and there was no intention for this cunt to actually take him off the ball. So they come out at halftime with 12 men, defend for like 2 seconds, concede the Nanai try, and then it's just like freeway for the next 20 minutes. We get to 32-6, and at this point, Tigers decide to fucking wake up and start trying. And here comes Jack Bird, Naden, Tuki, the wrong Fainu.
What a performance.
Heath of War. Shout out to Heath, who we laughed at all throughout the fucking preview, but he was actually, might have been the best half on the field on the night, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Buller was popping up everywhere, and after looking like they physically unable to score for 60 minutes, they just clicked their finger and it was like boom.
But how did that happen, bro?
Well, they scored their first try, right? And at 32-12, you still need a miracle to get.
No. How did they score the first try?
I don't remember. I remember immediately the try 60 seconds later. Oh, yeah. Just they ran the age-old play. Give it to To'a and let him run through Nanai for the 50th time. So at this point, I was like,
they're going to give up.
All right, Cowboys. You haven't had to like handle much of anything. And as soon as they got down there, you just part the Red Sea and let this cunt score. That's pretty concerning.
And then what did they do off the kickoff?
And then off the kickoff, I was like, these cunts have given up. Tigers, they just like shift the ball twice, and there's a gap this big for Heath to run through. He gives it to Buller, who gives it to Taruva, back to Toa for the 50th time. Buller gets tackled. Here comes Heath off the right foot, bang, under the post. 12 points in 2 seconds. And then Tigers pretty much are coming to get them for the rest of the game. I feel like the turning point, when Buller did the offload for Coruscant, and he dropped it with a chance to score. Yeah. I feel like Cowboys would have literally capitulated had Tigers scored 100%. That one. But look, don't get me wrong, Tigers, they were asleep for 60 minutes. They don't deserve to win. Honestly, they didn't deserve to cover either. And that's really alarming in my mind going forward, that off this whole Galvin like nonsense situation, that you can't come out and give up that of a first half where it looked like you never even got off the plane. Off a bye as well would really concern me. And if anything, you can't get no credit from me for coming back like that, because that's more like Cowboys. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, that was
some of the tries they conceded was just walkover ones.
The Buller one was
the Buller one.
The one at the end.
Oh yeah, the Buller one was labor. Like they moved heaven and earth this thing to get you in there for you to do that. Well, come on, and yeah, just awful. Like Cowboys like.
They're the worst sixth place team I've seen.
It really annoys me that they continue to get away with this. Yeah. And there's actually people out there pushing back on our take about them that, you know what? Like, you boys don't know Cowboys are actually good. They're not good at all.
Bro. There is like 5 teams below them, if not more, that are better than them. Like, by a country mile. It's almost to the point that Dragons are better than them.
I'd dead so take Dragons over these guys.
They won't give up.
You know how I feel about Dragons.
Dragons would never give up.
Nah, this is really bad.
They would never let Tigers back in that game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It would never happen.
That's kind of my thoughts of Some are going to be like, oh, Tigers have hope. They have no
No,
hope.
they have no hope. It was more Cowboys. This was all... Bro, the Stafford Toa try, the second one,
Yeah.
he ran like through 3 players and then laboured again. This time Stafford Toa goes on the inside and he let Spuller just walk past it. It was worse than the Tigers tries.
It's fucked. There was no fan. There was no dummy.
No,
It
he
was
just ran.
He's in the try line. It's insane.
Unbelievable. It's like the Cowboys had a sin bin.
Yeah, I know.
But
or
they
a
didn't.
send-off or something. That's the only way that would explain. to
Well,
just
you said the only way Tigers could come back is if we get a send-off. Well, we didn't need it.
I know, yeah.
They just came back anyway.
The kickoff one was just like so alarming that after they scored the kickoff one and they were still down like 20, I was like, they're going to cover, aren't they? They almost won. It's nuts.
Oh, yeah, that was the left edge, this Charlie Staines try, which we forgot. That was also Valame's great defensive decision coming in. And just lets him walk on the outside.
Don't get me wrong. Some of the Tigers tries are there.
Oh, yeah, Tigers. But that's Tigers. We're not saying Tigers are good.
The Jackson Paulo one, I was just like, wow.
But Stafford Toa got 2 at the other end, so fair enough.
Yeah, fuck me.
Holy fuck, that game was honestly hilarious.
That was one of the funniest games of the entire season.
Yeah, agreed.
Did we deserve to cover 9.5?
No. But did we deserve to get raped on the next game? Fuck no. But we'll discuss them in a second.
Any wrap-up points on Cowboys? Like, going forward, what do you expect out of these two
Oh,
sides?
no, I'll just keep betting against Cowboys. This is ridiculous. They're like, over. If you're saying Raiders and Warriors are dual loss, like these cunts, like they don't even deserve to win 90% of their games. Like Warriors and Raiders are actually decent. These cunts are not even decent.
Yeah.
I actually...
When I watch Cowboys, they look like a 3-9 team to me.
If they play Titans tomorrow, I'd take Titans.
But, you know, like, I always say this. There are 10 or 15 minute stretches where Cowboys have all the ball in the game. And they actually look really good.
Yeah, I know.
But there's also 10 or 15 minute stretches where they don't have the ball and they look like the worst team in the league.
What's incredible is that no one would... Like, everyone would put them above South, but they're literally South. If not worse. They're worse than South. They're South without Wayne.
They're South without their players.
Yeah, it's literally. They're like, I mean... It's atrocious what they delivered up in that last 20 minutes. This is why Todd Payne has no hair.
Yeah.
Like, how can you
The only 3 cunts that truly understand Cowboys are me, you, and Todd Payton. Because no one, like,
how can you
stresses
understand?
more over their own team than this guy.
Yeah, like, it's just... And Benji, like, Benji also saying in the post-game, boys, I love the effort. Where the fuck was that? What do you mean effort?
Yeah,
There's no reason to be down 32-6 to this team. You could see how bad they were.
Some part of me is like... Between the garbage they scored and the garbage sin bin.
Did you see the drink water try? Did we watch it again?
Yeah, that's fucking... What's Luai there for? Come on, man.
Well, also, why Staines doesn't just come across? He's faster than drink water.
Nah, because he's terrified of fucking... That annoying winger, brand new winger.
Cowboys.
Derby.
Holy fuck. Like...
Seems like Reece Robson hurt his hamstring and McIntyre hurt his fucking calf in this game, so... Few more troops going down for Cowboys.
I wish they lost. They could genuinely come last if that happened.
Nah, there's a league with Knights in it.
What would that spread be? And how many
Knights,
points?
Cowboys.
How many points would I get with Knights? How many points are you going to
Are
give me?
Knights perceived to be worse than Tigers right now?
Oh, yeah.
Knights went to Townsville, you probably see like 11.
Oh, I'll take head dead.
Knights?
They might win.
Yeah, I know.
Because they can defend.
Yeah, I know.
These cats won't score and then they'll give up at the end.
Yeah.
Well, Cowboys could give up to
They're the
anyone.
only cocksuckers to concede to Knights.
Exactly.
I don't just...
No, actually, there's one other team that could concede
Titans,
to Knights.
yeah,
No. They played in the game after it. This is Broncos fans, like, honestly...
Turn the fucking mic down.
Turn the mic, like, you can't need the volume down. Like, this is fucked. First of all, I'm going to get to my Manly Seagulls. Like, it was a battle of who's going to give up, and now we know you cunts don't want to give up. Like, you cunts are actually going to try, which fair enough. Like, at least we've identified this after last week. But in saying that, last week, like, you should have won, but after this week's performance, you can't really put Para at the dirt that you were saying. They're actually okay.
Yeah. No, they're fine.
So, Manly, like, I don't know what you cunts are doing. You cunts want to win one, lose one, win one, lose one, but...
You
just play like this, and literally you'll beat everyone.
You need to wake up a bit.
They do need to wake up.
It's unacceptable for one. It's not one win by 4, one loss by 4 like most other teams. It's we won by 50, we lost by 50. Yeah. It makes no fucking sense.
Well, they raped Brisbane and they raped Penrith. Like, just very easily. Like, with no forwards.
Yeah, and they
no forwards.
And they very easily got raped by Para with Not Moses
and
or
and Cronulla.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. These
it's
cunts
fucking
are just
dumb.
the dumbest cunts.
But as far as this particular game goes,
They played great.
Yeah,
like,
they were really
I mean,
good.
this is what you should get from Manly that don't have their stars. Like, everyone pulling up their socks and having a great game. Again, Lehigh, like, fuck me. I mean, I know Manly's just, like, they got Turbo at fullback, but fuck you make a case every single time you're there. You ain't no Turbo, but holy fuck, a lot of teams in this league would love to have you at fullback. You are playing out of your skin there. And even this team, even that winger, like, whatever his name is, Clayton.
Lalo.
Mate, God, he had a game. Yeah. Like, the back outside backs that Manly have are just, it's not fair.
They can generate them out of thin air.
They can just generate them out of thin air. So, they played great. But again, I'm gonna say, G up the forwards. To take on Haas and Carrigan is no easy task. And Jazz, listen to the names I'm gonna say. Jazz, Bullymore, simply didn't play this one. Hamoli, Nathan Brown. Shout out to you guys, because, like, you guys are, like, not good forwards, and you're definitely under strength. But you guys really pulled your socks up after last week, because last week you guys were just giving freeway tries to Dylan Walker. But this week, like, Brisbane just really couldn't get any momentum, more on their own side because they were fucking idiots. But the fact that you didn't even give them a little sniff is what Cowboys did. You saw the Cowboys game before where Cowboys dominated Tigers for the whole game, but still let Tigers back in the game. You cunts were just like, nah, these cunts, they're done.
Yeah, they never even had a sniff, really.
No.
Which, I got to apologise, I was way off the pace on this one. I think I had a very good round up until this game where I was just seeing everything right, but this was, like, egregiously wrong. And I'm shocked in hindsight. Watching the game, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
It's fine.
I came on and I was like, out of these two cunts, the Broncos are not far off getting things right, and Manly, one week good, 1 week bad. Like, they're just it's like they don't even give a fuck. But they look like it means a lot to them to actually play finals footy, send Cherry off on a high, whatever you want to call it. And Brisbane, coming off a bye, actually came back looking 10 times worse.
Awful.
All of the losses they've had, this was their worst one.
They were flat
in
from
my
the
opinion.
start.
Like no energy, no urgency, no discipline, no care factor. And the experiment's over, in my opinion. It's through no fault of his own, but these cunts are incapable of playing match footy.
Yeah, they aren't.
No matter what, he's saying in the press, which he's actually emulating Jason Riles, which fascinates me that he can sit up there in the press conference post this game, 34-6, and be like, we're doing so much right, but we're not far. Like, you literally have one win in your last 7 games. Yeah, you're not doing anything right.
They're not doing anything
garbage.
Right. They're on the fringes of not making the 8 right now.
But
like,
for Madge personally, like, coaching these cunts must be driving him fucking nuts. Because no matter how many hill runs he makes them do, how many times he tells them you have to tuck the ball under and take hit-ups, kick long, chase, do whatever, they're just physically incapable of playing that tough style of footy.
They don't know what that is.
You named the game last night when they played the Raiders, when they played Penrith, when they play any of these sides that
Roosters.
when it becomes an arm wrestle and you have to go set for set, they literally lose every single time.
Yeah, I know.
The only times they've won was, they raped Roosters by 100 when Roosters
and they raped
gave
Dobbs
up.
by 50.
They raped Dobbs by 50 when they had 10 sin bins, and they raped Tigers by 100 when they had 10 sin bins. That's it. They haven't actually won a, like,
proper game.
We won 16-12.
No, they'd lose them all. Even Dragons, they lost it. Like,
yeah, they literally lost Dragons.
Like,
when they got the sin bins.
You know what the brilliant thing is? I mean,
these cunts are they're just a more talented version of Titans.
Yeah, at this point they are. They're literally a more talented version of Titans. Yeah. That's a great way of putting it. What's fortunate for me is that I've kind of gone on this ride other than this week, because, like, how can you fucking take +2 with Manly with that lineup? But I've faded these cunts for a long time. And the only time I actually took them was, shout out Michael, I don't know if you watched the podcast, is when you said Broncos are going to beat Dogs. And I know as soon as you say Broncos are going to win, they always fucking win for some reason. They haven't won a game since. And all you can do is just keep fading them. Just keep fading them. These cunts are just going to keep losing.
We got the tweet throughout the week that Turbo was out, right? So we actually got Broncos at +2.5. They closed at -2.5. When you lose by 28, it doesn't fucking matter what you opened or closed at. So shout out to the Manly Seagulls with no players. Really put a stamp on the season of this.
We're not quitting.
This is what we're going to be going forward. And Seabold was very articulate post-game to be like, I know that we win one and lose one every other week, and it's time for us to wake up and not do that. And Cherry Evans also was like, we actually lost a bunch in a row at home, and that we expect better of ourselves playing at 4 Pines Park. But
they were better at home last year. Like
were,
they would lose all their road games, but win every game at home. Like they couldn't stop winning at home.
Like some of their home losses, Dragons, Sharks, games that they would probably never lose.
Never lose. Even the Melbourne
game.
one,
fair enough. Like
they beat Melbourne last year. They beat Penrith last. They beat everyone at Shark Park.
But as far as Broncos goes, like
I got them out of the 8. Like
this is the first game where I'm officially like, I don't care if Walsh comes back. I don't care if Ben Hunt comes back. I know that when they do come back, they're going to 50 ball someone, and it doesn't actually matter.
It doesn't mean anything because of the way they're playing. Like it's just truly like what we said right at the start of the season could come through. Dolphins could be the highest team in Queensland.
And I want to give you credit, Chris, because literally after they beat Roosters 50-0, you're the only cunt that came on in nationally televised fucking content. You were like, yeah, they won, but they didn't really play match footy.
Yeah.
And what are we, 13 rounds later, 3 months later, they're still playing the same garbage that they were playing with Kevy, that they were playing with Seabold, that they were playing with fucking everybody since Wayne Bennett.
Well, Matt should just be like, I feel like he's trying to take all the ownership of, they're not listening to me, but it's on me for them not listening to me. These cunts are fucked. Like,
okay, if you're not going to blame Madge, and
I can't blame Madge.
I'm going to rescind my blame for Kevy because now it's obvious that it wasn't this cunt's fault. So who do you blame?
Adam Reynolds. He's not a leader.
He hasn't fucking done anything.
Yeah, but he's not a leader. Like, he is not changing what they do. He's not leading them at all. Like,
I don't think he holds his teammates accountable.
He doesn't hold anyone accountable. He's just, like, as a captain, and I felt like at South this was different, but that was more Wayne, right, than anything else. He hasn't done shit for these cunts. It's the same Broncos, just more talent. And ever since then, like, we're talking, like, years back when Reynolds first moved, when they had nothing, right? And then they got all the talent with them, and then they were like, holy fuck, these cunts are fucked. And the year they made the grand final, it was just, like, I'll repeat over and over. That team, when you actually think about it, they played like this, but they were so fucking talented, it didn't matter. Yeah. They were that fucked.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what you get. And now you see, like, blips in the radar. Willison's playing. They lost, obviously, Flegler. They lost Farnworth. They've lost all these stars. And because there's a few idiots in there, and they all continue to play like morons, they just can't pull off what they were doing before. And Madge hasn't been able to change that. So, look, can I blame Madge for not being able to change it? Maybe, but then I have to blame Kevy. So, I don't want to blame Kevy, and I don't want to blame Madge. This playing group, like, if they'd won that grand final, I feel like they still think they've won that grand final in their minds. I truly think that's the concern. Because if they won the grand final and they're coming like 9th every year, no one will give a fuck.
Yeah, because they won one.
They won. But like now, it's like, well, you didn't fucking win. Like, you need to win.
I actually think if they had won the grand final, they wouldn't be this bad now.
No, they wouldn't.
Part of me thinks like they got to the grand final on just sheer arrogance of, fuck, look how talented we were, so good. And think about how they lost it, right? Yeah. They weren't really humbled. Like, the year Penrith lost to Melbourne the first time they made the grand final.
They got raped.
They had the amazing regular season, beat the shit out of everyone, and then they look up, it's like, fuck, we're down 28-0. Like, all right, we got some work to do. Yeah. These cunts were like, oh, we were 10 minutes away from pumping these cunts. We just, like, we clocked off. We'll rock up and we'll win next year's one. And next year they came back, looked god-awful. They were in the top 4 halfway through the year and then just gave up.
See, have you seen that, like, ever since then, the league has, like, kind of changed to a more, you need effort than skill.
Yeah. And that's where you see Bulldogs, Raiders.
And all these clubs, like Titans are epitome of this, Broncos are another one, Cowboys are the same, all these Queensland teams, right? They have skillful players, but they have no effort. Like, all you Queensland supporters, let's just say the truth, all 4 of the teams there don't show effort at all. The one that shows probably the most effort is probably Dolphins, the fucking idiots. But now, like, even without Wayne, they don't show what they did before. With Wayne, it was a different story.
Yeah, of course. So.
But talent, like skill, unless you have what Broncos had, which no one in this competition right now does, you could maybe argue Melbourne. But even them, I don't think they were as talented as that Broncos team. That team didn't win the grand final. Like, that's the level you need. And you need, like, fucking both centers being Dally M centers, a fucking fullback, like, that was one of the best fullbacks in the competition, one of the best props in the competition, one of the best halves pairings in the competition with Ezra scoring a hat-trick. You need all of that, and you still won't win the grand final.
Two gun back rowers, good
They have
bench.
everything.
Even like Flegler was your second best starting front rower, who would probably be like the leader of a forward pack on any other team. The fall
Didn't
from
they have
that.
Capewell that year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Capewell and Ricky.
They were fucked.
Yeah, I know.
There was no reason to lose that grand final. Yes, you lost it now, so you need to fucking wake up. And it's 2.5 years and they still haven't woken up. It's the same.
I don't know what you do with this team. What can Madge do?
It's almost to the point blow it up, sell what you can get and just start again. I actually genuinely. I'll be the first one to say. Like I said, they haven't played match football.
What are you going to do? You're going to get rid of Haas?
I'll get rid of everyone.
No. I'm going to ask you. Are you going to get rid of Haas?
Yeah.
Who are you going to replace him with?
It doesn't matter. Come 15th. This team doesn't deserve to be there. Yeah, they'll win games 50-0. Sure, but
no. But you're never going to get better as a club getting rid of Haas and Carrigan.
So how do you know?
Because
they were there the last 2 weeks and got pumped by the Dragons pack and the Manly pack.
Haas literally just got man of the match in the State of Origin game as a front rower.
Yeah, but if you can't... Haas being there and Carrigan being there means you have to start Willison. And he's 90% of the problem.
Nah, like you said, Adam Reynolds, you're better than this. I thought you were better than this.
I would genuinely... Whoever they can ship out in the off-season, I'd ship out if I was Brisbane.
You're going to ship out Walsh?
Fuck it.
You're going to ship out fucking Stagg?
You're not going to get anywhere. Literally, it's to the point that if you keep the playing group together, you can't. If this playing group doesn't make the eight, it's just going to become more and more embarrassing. Just fucking ship everyone out. It's going to get more embarrassing.
It's fucked because if they miss the eight, what can you even say?
Exactly. It's just year on year, it's going to get worse. And slowly you'll lose everyone because cunts are going to go for a paycheck. Everyone knows Staggs is great. Everyone knows Walsh is great.
And the argument last year was Kevy's he's mates with the players and that's why they're fucking...
Yeah, but what's the argument now?
I'm not sure you can find 3 or 4 coaches more hard, tough nose and tough nails than Madge that would demand certain things from his players. You just can't get it out of these guys.
I'm telling you, there is no reason. Look, Haas, okay, you had excuse, you played Origin, but the way you played in Origin to come across, you might as well not have played. Play someone else.
I don't think
Haas is the problem, but you keeping Haas is creating the problem with everyone else.
No, see, I feel like if Haas and Carrigan just rest, that's a bigger problem. Because then the players are like, oh, these guys don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you're one of the cunts that came off the bye after getting raped by Dragons, and you're looking across from Haas, who had a quad strain 10 days ago, and Carrigan, who just got raped by the Blues pack for 80 minutes, and they're 3 days later, they're at 4 pints playing, how can you not be like, oh, I'll at least fire up for them? It's like they just don't give a shit.
They don't care.
And on the other side, okay, you guys don't give a fuck. You can see 30 points every week. Fine, you don't care. Why are you only scoring 6?
Yeah, well, there's that as well.
Why are you only scoring 6?
Well, they don't have
You have Reynolds and Mam and Haas and Carrigan and Staggs and Mariner and how are you Cobbo? Dragons legit run out 17 of the biggest dicks I've ever seen. When was the last time they scored 6?
I think that yeah, I know he wasn't in the conversation. He wants to stay at the Sydney Cup. Someone like Galvin, you can ship everyone out and keep Galvin and just fucking go for it. But I'm telling you, unless they get rid of some of this garbage,
I'll get rid of Reynolds.
That won't fix it. I promise you.
Step 1.
It's not.
Because Reynolds is literally there for kicking game, on-field leadership, and to set standards at training.
At this point,
that's 3 clear-cut areas where I'm like, this cunt's not doing his job.
Well, at this point, I know Reynolds and Haas and Carrigan are the leaders. It's not Reynolds. Reynolds doesn't do shit anymore. It's Haas and Carrigan. They are the leaders of the club. And, to the point that, okay, if you get rid of Reynolds, right, to your point, who the fuck's playing halfback? Me.
Ben Hunt?
I mean, he's got 1 or 2 years left in him.
Find someone new.
They're not going to win in the next... The way they're playing...
It's not about winning, but it's about, okay, will you do a rebuild, but you can't get rid of fucking everything.
I would get rid of whoever's off contract. Reynolds goes. Staggs goes.
Yeah, fuck those cunts. Get out.
Ricky goes if he's off contract. I don't know who's off contract. I'm just saying. Walsh is...
Nah, you have to keep
Walsh. I think you have to keep Walsh. Ezra you have to keep. Walsh and Ezra you have to keep. Between Haas and... This is just the conversation of Haas and Fafita. Between Haas and Carrigan, truly, you have to get rid of one of them. You can't keep them both and expect the other fucking 4 idiots that are in that pack to wake up.
But they're
because
not
none
idiots.
of them. They are.
They're supposed to be good players.
They're not. Kobe, you're not a good player.
Kobe
Neither are you,
sucks,
Willison. Yeah. Neither are you. Who else is in that pack? Jensen. Did he even play?
No,
Is he finished?
Ricky and Piakora and they're they're not bad players.
Ricky, you're an awful player. Piakora, you're an atrocious player, and all you do is get... No, they deserve to be called out. There's no... Like you said, they looked across it from Haas and Carrigan and said, we're going to get raped by Jazz.
But if you send Ricky and Piakora to a different club, they will actually be pretty good.
I couldn't care less.
It's like when they put the Broncos jersey on, they just turn into dirt.
Then they have to go... We'll never solve it then. They're never going to change that culture. Unless Wayne goes back, which is not going to.
I feel like if you have the right captain at the club, like, hypothetically, if you ran out with Gutherson... with the captaincy armband, I think things would be different. These
cuts are so beyond help.
No, I genuinely think...
I actually think you still think like they're this much... I actually think they're so beyond help.
No, they're gone.
No. They're gone. Like, they might still make the 8. Because
maybe not.
But, like... I genuinely... Like, they will not make the 8 for the next, 3 years, I reckon.
That's fucking disgraceful.
The way they're playing is just... Oh, Cobo can go. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, they're so bad.
I'm telling you, these cons, they just need some fucking fresh blood.
I actually blame a lot of the problems in attack on Adam Reynolds as well.
Oh, yeah, he's 90% of the... It's always been Walsh, right? He's been the one that creates the offense. That's fine, but, it's not even that. I don't care they score 6, right? It's not the point. It's the way they play. It's like, why did they go out and look soft, and in 2 minutes, me and you knew they're going to lose? And it wasn't Haas and Carrigan, it's the rest of them. What the fuck's going on at this club? You can't blame Madge. You can't blame Walsh. You know what's fascinating? Last year was all Walsh. And we knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's something else.
Yeah. Now they put Arthur back there. They concede 6 tries off kicks, and now they're like,
where's Walsh?
Yeah. Nah, this team's fucking shit.
Awful. Blow it up. In the NBA, I would trade everyone, but this is not the NBA. Literally, they're so bad.
You guys in the comment section, what's the answer for this club? Because
they don't have an answer.
Now you're just throwing darts at a dartboard and you're not getting anywhere. What
other coach are you going to get?
I feel sorry for Madge that he has to keep being oh yeah, I'm
Well, he's taking ownership for this fucking rubbish.
He shouldn't. Genuinely, if I was Madge, I'd be I don't even know what to say to these cunts. They can coach themselves. Fuck, I'll take the week off. Fuck me. Off a bye to come out and dish that up, that was really bad.
6 points as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Manly, 34-6. Great win at 4 points.
Yeah, shout out.
Hopefully you guys can get a little bit healthier and keep the momentum going to the back end of the season like you did last year where you made some noise. Moving on to...
South.
Up the mighty fucking Waz.
Go the Waz.
Up my G's. Shout out to all your G's in the comment section below. I know you guys have been waiting for us to get to your team. We're on the Sunday slate, 2 p.m. sharp. The Waz in an overs-a-thon, take down South Sydney 36-30 was the full-time score in this one. In a back-and-forth affair where it was you score, I score, you score for a lot of that game. Warriors take quite a handsome lead, but obviously in this sport,
South's come back.
Being up 30-10 means nothing, and within the blink of an eye, Souths are in the contest again. Shout out to Latrell Mitchell, did everything he could to get this team back from the brink of a fucking death. He comes out like the Undertaker to score to make it 36-30 with 5 minutes to go, but there just wasn't enough gas in the tank for South Sydney to come back all the way and force some garbage golden point nonsense. Warriors 3.5, was that it? In my opinion at least. And I think the right side won and covered. The Waz. Souths is pretty bad to give the Warriors 7 tries, but what did you think of this one, champion? Do you rate those mighty Waz yet?
No. I mean, they won by 6. Look, the line should have been 6. It's fucking South. Come on. We were lucky Latrell played. Fuck me. What actually does me is it's not the fact that I don't like Warriors and the G's. It's not that I don't like them. It's that they're third with 3 teams around them that are deservedly in those positions, and they get undermined because you idiots are there. Raiders, Melbourne, and Dogs are clear cuts above you cunts. Clear cut. When you watch them week in, week out, you watched Raiders today, there was no reason to beat Roosters, and they still won without Fogarty. How many weeks can I say? I watch Warriors play, and I know they're going to win the game, but I know they're going to play like ass. That's what's frustrating. Even their tries were fucking stupid. The try before halftime, I don't think anyone else could possibly score. it's not possible to not knock it on the way they scored. It's not possible. But Warriors pulled it off. Like, it's literally... Yeah, you could say to me, I wish for them to... Yeah, I want them to lose every single week. From now to the end of the season, I hope they lose every game.
Why?
Because they're not actually good at all. They're actually not good. Again, why did they let South back in the game?
Mate, everyone does that.
No, but why did they let South back in the game? Go on.
Because they dropped it and then South became possessed.
But, like, why are South in the game in the first place with that forward pack? I thought you cunts were gods.
Well, I mean, they went up 30-12.
Yeah, but they fucked it again.
Yeah, but literally...
They were literally down to the last second to fucking win. And you know why?
Okay. At any point in the game, did you think the Warriors were going to lose?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, when they were down 12-4, I was like, these cunts are lost already. It's done.
I was like, it's South. They'll lose.
No, I genuinely thought at 12-4, oh, maybe today's the day that Warriors will go back-to-back losses. Little do I know, they're going to come out in the second half and South's going to give up.
So at 12-4, you think they're going to lose, and then you blink and it's 30-12, and you're like, that doesn't mean anything?
No, look, yeah, but that was, how much of that was them or how much was that was... Did you watch the Metcalf try?
It's not easy to keep South scoreless for like 50 minutes.
No. If you watch that Metcalf try, and
they gave South 6 points as well with the intercept try.
Yeah, well,
South essentially had 4 points by the fucking 60th minute.
Yeah, they had nothing. They couldn't score.
Yeah, but it was.
Yeah, but they got to 30. Like, why did they? Your point is, okay, they didn't score but they got to 30 anyway.
I know, because it's this sport. You make one error, the other team scores 18 points.
But there's no Raiders wouldn't do that.
Raiders do it every other week.
They did it to Dogs. Like, how many other... They've won every other game.
Yeah, Raiders are good. No, Raiders are way better than Warriors. That's not a doubt in my mind.
Dogs are way better than Warriors.
Yeah.
Melbourne are way better.
Of the top four, Warriors are by far and away the shittest cunts out of all four of them. That's fine. But from 5 to 17, I'm not sure you can say any of those cunts are better than Warriors.
We'll see next week. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, well...
I
feel like that's a very tough scheduling spot for the Wires. And... if someone was to put me and you on a lie detector, we would say Sharks are better than them.
Yeah, we are.
So I agree with you, but why are Sharks not third? Because they're on stupidity. Like, Warriors are shit, but at least they're not stupid.
They are, though. Like, there's an art of the game.
There's an art to winning every fucking week by 4.
What the fuck was that try that Johnson scored his hat trick on? I thought where the fuck were the Warriors players?
That was just a Latrell bullet to the wing, mate.
No, but why is it bouncing that Latrell could just get... Like, it's not like he caught it on the full. The ball's just bouncing and Latrell walks through. Like, Warriors are just a good... Like, their 50 minutes of good is great. Their 30 minutes of shit is just like everyone else.
Yeah, I know.
And what's... The 50 minutes they play great is what's winning them the game. Because they still have that 30 minutes of garbage. Most teams do. But these cunts are literally... That 50 minutes of great is just not to matching South's great or Sharks' great or Manly's great. They all play great for periods of time, and the other periods they play like idiots. But Warriors sit the fact they're 9-3 or 9-2, whatever the fuck.
This is the difference. When it got to 30-24, Warriors actually scored to again go up by 12.
Yeah, but
whereas shit cunts like Cowboys, Tigers, Titans, they wouldn't score.
I agree.
And they will 100% get to 30 off.
I agree. They won't score. I understand. But you know what? Like, I'm sick of defending them. I'm going to be against them the whole year. You cunts can fucking go in the comments. I don't care. I watch them every week, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, I know they're going to win, but they're going to play like ass. And they do it week in, week out.
Nah,
it's the same shit. They didn't play good today. Did they play good?
They scored 7 tries.
That's more South for me than anything else. You can't say... Tigers almost scored 7 tries. But it means nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing good about South.
I'm not saying there's anything good about South.
Would I like to see Warriors win a game 13 plus? That would be nice.
They can't. It's not possible.
When you go up 30-12, can you just like full-time make it 38-16? That would be cool.
No, they can't.
But I've just accepted that.
They're going to win every game by 2. It's fine.
In this iteration of the NRL, being up 18 fucking means nothing. Look at the Cowboys game, look at the Roosters game, look at the Warriors game. Unless you're playing Knights or you're playing against like Melbourne or Bulldogs or something, 18 points can be eradicated in 2 minutes.
Well, why we say, okay, go win 13 plus is we've seen Dogs do it. We see Melbourne do it. We see Raiders do it. And you can't so company with them. And you want us to come on the podcast and say you guys are company with them, but you're not.
This is the Back Yourself podcast, right? So we don't give a fuck. We can sit here and be like, you are nowhere near any of the other cunts in the top 4. You don't even belong in the same. And that's obvious, right? If they played Dogs, Melbourne, or Raiders tomorrow on a neutral, they would be like pretty big underdogs to all of them.
Yeah, they wouldn't be.
Right?
Well,
These cunts will pick them to Raiders
Yeah.
in fucking New Zealand
Yeah.
the other week.
They're literally 2.5 to South today.
What was their spread when they went to Melbourne? 12.5, and they didn't even cover it.
Wasn't
but
close.
14, we're entering round 14. These cunts have 3 losses.
Yeah.
2 to Raiders and 1 to Melbourne.
Yeah.
So, as far as from 4 downwards, have they been the most... Do they have the most impressive resume of any team? I would say yes.
I'll see you cunts in 7th and
Because
8th.
Manly,
Just fuck off.
because Manly, who you would say are better than them, and
Oh,
I would
yeah.
probably agree with you, and Sharks, and
Oh, yeah.
Broncos,
No.
and all these other cunts with talent or whatever you want to call it, all of them along the way have at least 2, if not more, dog wank losses where you're like, why did they lose?
I promise you right now, Penrith play Warriors, I'd take Penrith.
Yeah, I probably would as well. But
We've
again,
named you 7 teams that these cunts aren't better than.
why are Penrith fucking 50th on the ladder?
Yeah, but look, the good will filter to the top. It's just a matter of time. The good teams will get to the top. It just happens. And at the moment, Raiders deserve to be there. Dogs deserve to be there. Melbourne deserve to be there. Cronulla, the way they played, they probably don't deserve to be there, but they're up there because they're talented. Manly probably don't deserve to be there either, the way they've played, but they're up there because they're talented. Warriors do not deserve to be there.
I disagree.
And they could, if they were 7th right now ahead of Cowboys, I'd be like, all right, that's roughly where they are. Because I know the teams above them aren't, they're not as good.
They 100% deserve to be there. Are they good enough
To finish
intrinsically to actually be there by the end of the year? I would say probably not. But 13 rounds into the year, considering the dog shit all these other cunts have dished up, I think they do deserve to be there. They have 9 wins and 3 losses, 1 to Melbourne, 2 to Raiders. That's as good as these cunts could have done.
Fuck these cunts. They barely beat Knights. No, fuck no. No way. Knights, they couldn't even 13 plus Knights.
They did 13 plus nights.
Wasn't it 20 to 12?
26-12.
They scored 26. That's
Yeah.
a first.
It's nights.
Yeah. Fuck me. I'm going to be against them, so it doesn't matter what anyone says. Fuck these cunts. I wish they lose every game.
Fair enough.
From now on, I want them to lose every game to the end of the season so they don't make the 8. That would be my dream. Even though they deserve an 8 spot. Like, I've seen enough that they can deserve the 8. They do not deserve the 4. There's no way. Sure.
As far as today's specific game, did you see fucking any noteworthy points out of Souths or Warriors? Or was it just like what you expected to see? I feel like you're kind of like, I actually expected Warriors to win by more.
Warriors deserve to win 13 plus. But why don't they? That's my question. Why didn't they win 13 plus today? What did South dish up in the first 60 minutes?
In my opinion, they gave him a 6 point. Like they gave him 6 points
They
on the
gave him-
intercept.
yeah, that's
right?
fine. But they recovered from that.
Which they recovered from, like you said, 12-4. They missed a lot of their goal kicks. So at a certain point in the game, I think it was 6 tries to 2.
Yeah.
Right? So at 6
They
tries
couldn't
to
kick.
2, what happened from there? Fuck, like games really turn quickly in this sport. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
They kick off, and Dallin dropped it 2 tackles after they fucking kicked off. This is after the try that got them to 30 points.
Yeah.
And then Souths of War just fucking... They came.
Yeah, but there's nothing noteworthy about South. There's nothing noteworthy about the teams they've played, but they let them back in the game. Like, we're talking... There's games... Okay, this South one, you never saw them losing. Sure. Magic round was when they played Cowboys, which we saw how good Cowboys are. They were literally a Metcalf tackle away from losing.
But
what your point is, why do they keep doing that? And I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense to me.
When I was watching the Magic Round Cowboys game, I was like, I'm okay. Like, I'm on the wires. Whereas if I was on... Even if I was on Manly or Sharks, I'd be
I'm so sick of that take because, like I said,
keeps winning.
I know they're going to go out there and win, and I tipped them today because I know they're going to go out there and win, but they're going to play like garbage, and I'm going to come on and say they're garbage, and everyone's going to say they won. It's the same. It's a repeat every week.
Yeah,
because they don't play good.
They play good enough to win, though, and that's all
I
they
don't
really
think.
need to do.
Look, I would take every single team that is in the 8 right now have played a better game than Warriors throughout any point of the season. That's the best way of putting it together. If you pick one game from Warriors, what's Warriors' best game? Tell me that, actually. In the comments, tell me. What's Warriors' best performance?
Let's go through it, right? So
Go on.
today, they lost to Raiders. They beat Dolphins by 4. They
Shit.
beat Dragons by 1.
Shit.
Cowboys by 4.
That was pretty good.
They
The Knights doesn't count.
They beat Broncos by 2.
Well, we know how good they
They
are.
got raped by Melbourne.
Yeah.
They beat Tigers by 2.
Yeah.
They beat Roosters 14-6.
There it is. I think it's that one.
The Roosters won.
The Roosters or Manly. One of those two.
They beat Manly 36-16 in the infamous 6-again game.
Which one are you going to say? You're the one. You're fucking representing New Zealand at this point. Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to answer you with a different answer. What was the shittest game?
The Roosters won. They were bad. The Tigers won. They were bad. I can name you all. Cowboys, they
Yes.
were bad.
All those cunts below them have multiple games worse than
I
those.
agree. But
So what I'm saying is,
What-
what I respect about the Wars is, okay, intrinsically, they're not a gun side, right? But the difference from their shittest performance and their best performance is like here. Whereas every other cunt, Manly, Cronulla, Melbourne, all these
Yeah.
fucks is here.
yeah.
And in a sport that's so fucking inconsistent to call every single week where I'm like, why did they win? How did they lose? At least I can go into the round being like, you know what? Waz will probably win by 4 for the 50th week in a row. And it keeps happening. I'll take that. Because the fucking retards were
Your
about to...
fall is coming. These
Nah.
cunts are not good.
The fucking flogs that we're about to talk about to end today, Roosters, Allah, shout out to Barnsey and J-Maz.
I don't respect Roosters. That's fine. I've said that from day one.
Those sort of sides infuriate me. And the more I think about Manly...
They're infuriating
Why
as
did you
well.
cunts go and get raped by Para last week to dish that up 7 days later? At least with Waz, it's like, you're getting annoyed because, they're not that good, but I know every week they're going to win by 6. I'm like... You know what? They're not going to play perfect, but at least they're going to win by 6.
Manly's 2 wins against Brisbane and Penrith were head and shoulders better than any of the Warriors' wins.
Manly's 2 wins against Brisbane.
Brisbane this week and against Penrith when they raped them were head and shoulders above any of Warriors'
Everyone's
wins.
raped Brisbane and everyone's raped Penrith as well.
Fair enough.
So
Manly's shit, so they haven't beaten
if you're going to
everyone
come
good.
and be like, Dragons raping Melbourne was way more
All right,
impressive.
Sharks beating Melbourne was head and shoulders above anyone else.
And Dragons beating Melbourne was way more impressive. I don't know. There's probably a game that... Let me try and think of another team. Someone like...
Titans don't have a win. Knights suck.
Who have Dogs lost to? Dolphins raping Dogs by 50, I guess, is like better than anything the Warriors have done, technically.
Oh, well, yeah. But Dogs, like, they lost to... That even
Broncos' win was better, right? But for all that one win that they played gun in, I have 5 losses where they were all garbage for no reason.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
nothing is worse than the Sharks Bulldogs.
You know what the painful thing is? I want them to play good. They don't play good.
They just play good
Prove
enough.
to me that you cunts are good. Every week they don't.
They just play good enough, man. That's good enough. And speaking of playing good enough, we move on to the Penrith Panthers in the Battle of the
they
West.
played good enough.
Shout out to Seabass, the ambassador of Para. Shout out to Joel Coddington.
Spies Warriors.
Shout out to any Penrith fans that are still out there and making noise. Have you cunts just given up on the year? They probably should have.
Yeah, you should.
After a 4-peat, why would you even give a shit? But
Agreed.
the Penrith Panthers bring it home, 3 units on, minus 4.5.
Again,
Was that it? As we articulated multiple times, this should be 8.5, and that would have been a more accurate reflection of the game. Cunts that follow this podcast consistently are going to expect me to come out and nuke Para, but
But they played great.
Para were awesome. Para
What
were
the
really good. In probably the best side in a losing effort for the round, I would say. And
Tigers.
Fuck Tigers. And I don't think the score line was a reflection of how close
Oh,
this game
Titans,
actually...
Titans.
There's nothing good about Titans either.
No, but they...
How can you throw 3 pick sixes in a game? This is not
Weaver,
fucking...
bro, come on.
This is not the New England
Weaver.
Patriots of 2020.
I just want to say Roosters.
Fuck me. Yeah, just landed on 8. I'm telling you, man, we're fucking all over it
Well,
as far as the spreads
look,
go.
4 is short as. Like, what the fuck? But did Para justify being at 4? Maybe justify being 6.
6, yeah, I
but
agree.
I thought Para played pretty good in this game.
They played gun.
Penrith, like, for all the stars coming back, you cunts weren't great. Like,
Nah,
I'd love to.
that's good power, mate. They didn't allow them to just
I
go out
know
and
Para
front run.
always plays them tough, right? And that was fine. But Penrith, like, fuck me. Like, even with all your stars, like, how can I rate you guys that highly? I still rate you guys more than Warriors, but like, is this the resurgence? Are they going to go win 10 straight? Doesn't look like. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
it doesn't. Do I think they should have smacked up Para? If Para played like us, yeah, but Did they just go there looking for a win? It kind of seemed like it, and they got lucky that they covered the spread with the Toto try at the end. Otherwise, they probably would have won by 2, and that's it, right? But I can't take away anything from Parra's performance. I think a lot of people after last week were saying they make the 8, they make the 8. They're in a shout. Like, honestly, they played that good.
They went from cellar dwellers to now I'm like, yeah, they're respectable.
Yeah.
They're very respectable.
If you do Para Dragons again, you'd be like, fuck me. Like, at least they have Mitch.
They're
like,
probably even, yeah.
Yeah.
If not, Para might be a bit better than them.
Yeah, because, like, right now, they're playing good footy. Their forwards are, like, playing really well. Dylan Walker, like, whatever he's told these cunts, he's brought it from Warriors, apparently. They're actually, like, woken up for some reason.
Yeah, why were they asleep at the start?
I don't know, but, like...
Which, I'm going to hold myself accountable on the Back Yourself podcast, which... Any coach that gets hired, if their team plays garbage after 3 weeks, I'm like, this cunt's a shit coach.
Yeah.
But to Riles' defense, it does take a bit of time to implement things where Brad Arthur's been there for 10 years and all these cunts have known.
Well, Madge is still trying to
in Brad Arthur's tenure is, we're just going to give up and concede 30 points a game and we'll throw the footy around and maybe we'll win, right? So the desperation in what they were like doing without the ball today, again, holding to Manly to 10 points last week, Penrith only had 10 by the 75th minute or whatever it was. It's very different to what we were seeing week 1 when they conceded 70, week 2 when they just went and gave up, 30-0 to Tigers or got whatever. Moses being back gives them hope.
Yep.
And like we said a couple of weeks ago, it makes everyone play a bit better because they have some hope.
Yeah.
And Lomax, was he the busy force that he always is? No, but what can you expect from the poor guy?
Yeah, so tired.
Shout out to all the Origin players that backed up this weekend.
100%.
All the Penrith boys, Edwards, To'o, Cleary, Yo, Martin.
You guys look dead.
All punched out like massive minutes and looked like you were fucking about to collapse by the end of this game. This was probably the game I enjoyed most of the round in a lot of ways in terms of the actual product. It was tough. It wasn't 28-26 at the end of the game. They went at it for 80 minutes. Penrith didn't get anything easy for the entirety of the game, and Para didn't give him a fucking inch. And outside of Cleary kicking the 40-20 and scoring the garbage try at the end, they probably don't cover, and they don't think they deserve to cover.
No, they probably don't deserve to cover, but the next game...
Yeah, so shout out to Para. I think if you guys can do that for the rest of the season, you're holding yourself in pretty good regard.
Like
that's
they
pretty good
will
from
be
you guys.
in the mix, and I think that's where we had them at the start of the year as well, because with Moses and Brown healthy the whole year, you're gonna be
okay.
in the mix.
Yeah, you're okay.
So look, they didn't play bad. Penrith, did they play good? They played good enough. I think maybe the tired legs. The big test will be. They really should molest Tigers next week if they play Penrith football, because Tigers are the complete opposite, the fucking idiots. But we'll see, right? Because Penrith, like, they're gonna... Every 2 points is just as important. Like, it's literally become... There's no room for error because the origin period is going to fuck you cunts no matter what. So, like, at this point... After that Knights loss, which we know how bad Knights are, it just shows, all right, Cleary, Edwards, Martin, Yo, and To'o need to fight. Whenever they're there, they literally have to win. And it's a lot of pressure, but they're 4-time champs. They're going to have to do what they got to do if they want to make the 8. But like I said, if they get to a final spot, I think we've said this a few times, if they come 8th, like, fuck playing these cunts. Like, in a one-game scenario, they're probably the worst team to play.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, I know they can punch out one game. When you... It's kind of like the old players in a series. Like, that's why there is 7 games, because these cunts can give you 1, can give you 2. Like, if they just fluke 3 or 4, they win the series. So it's like 1 game scenario, game 7 scenario, same shit. Like, fuck playing Penrith in that scenario. Imagine they're playing Cowboys or some shit. Or playing Warriors. That would be my dream. Warriors will be underdogs to them, and that'll be the
first time you'll see the 8th seed go to the 5th seed and be like 5-point favorites.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
but Warriors are good. They're 2.5 to the house. Fuck me, they're so good. Penrith did their job. I think at this point, like, it's hard to lay any points with them. Penrith? Just take it there. Like, they have to win. I feel like laying it, they're just like, all right. Every week, Ivan's just telling them, let's get a win, let's get a win. Let's not rape them.
They actually look like an exhausted side.
Yeah, they do.
They can't just, like, go out and win by 12 easily.
Or they wouldn't want to. They just want the 2 points. Like, that's all they need at this point. And what's fascinating is if they didn't get that stupid draw, they'd be like 7th, 8th, or 9th or some shit. So they're not far behind. Neither is anyone but Knights and Titans. So everyone's still a shot. Except for one team after today. Because I feel like... You know what's hilarious?
Talk to me.
I'm not going to actually kill them because what's fascinating about my takes is that I anticipated this was going to happen.
I know, yeah.
So
It's
I
great from you.
don't really need to say anything because I know what they are.
Unfortunately, defending the Wars and yelling at Cowboys took a lot out of me, so I'm not sure I'll have the exuberance to yell at these cunts.
Do you want me to retell you the game so you can get more infuriated about what happened?
We can do that. Shout out to J-Mass, shout out to Bunzi, and shout out to Charles Croon, the Mighty Milk. Get another win.
The Milk on fire.
The first team to 10 wins in the 2025 season. Who would
Shout
have
out to
thought
them.
that? Fuck me. Well done.
Fuck, they're on fire.
Yeah.
Let's retell the game because Roosters started the game really well, kicking to the mark. Like, you can't do shit against that. They didn't kick the Tupou, which is unfortunate. And then Raiders pull back the garbage try, after 4 hours of having the ball. And some would argue, why is the Back Yourself podcast not saying anything about the refs and Ashley Klein in this case? It actually wasn't him. I want to know how many 6 agains there were, but there probably wasn't that many in this game. Probably because Roosters just kept knocking it on. And over, and maybe going out and Mark throwing it over the side, all different things. Anyway, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. Eventually, Raiders score a try, and that's apparently, even if no try opens the floodgates for tries in this sport. Because if you actually think about it, if that was at that point, it was 6-4, well unders, and no one looked like scoring, and it was literally 41 minutes in this game. Little do we know, at full time, we would have every try under the sun, and this got to 50, I think.
54.
Fucking unbelievable. Anyway, no try, which 50-50 call. I still feel like if Owen Paddy's in front, he's not actually... This is the rule book, in my eyes. Owen Paddy isn't offside until he makes... he's within 10 metres of the ball. So, Crichton pulling back Sasangi is actually prior to that happening. That's just me. If Owen Paddy is offside and goes passive, then you cunts are going to give a penalty to the Raiders because he's fucking holding him back. But because Owen Paddy gets to the 10... The only reason he got to the 10... that's after the fact Sasangi got pulled back. So why the fuck did that go? Anyway, off that rubbish, obviously Roosters score. Now, we sat here at halftime. We watched the game together for this one.
12-4.
12-4. Raiders going to give up. And I said, when they kicked off Warrior Roosters, I was like, you know what?
Raiders might win.
Roosters can be Roosters from here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Any scenario.
I know.
And then guess what? Raiders score first. Again, error after error. At some point, it was 47 tackles in the opposition 20.
To 7.
And that wasn't penalties. So what's incredible is that these cunts, their discipline was fantastic today. The only thing I will get to before I give it to Hussein is one thing that Trent Robertson, the spineless cunt, I tell you, probably my most hated coach because of, again, he just continues to prove me right that this cunt just literally doesn't do anything. He just goes and just rocks up because... Just error after error, didn't change anything, same garbage. And slowly Raiders started getting back in the game. Then they score that try, which James, what a play is. Like I said about Pappy as well. James and Pappy are playing out of their skin to not deserve an origin spot seems incredible. But then Tupou scores the funniest probably try of the year when he sat on the line waiting for Ashley Klein to say, you can go score and it's not double movement. They score that. And again, I thought Raiders, they're going to give up. But you never know, it's Roosters.
It's 18-8 at this point.
You never know, it's Roosters, eh? So, Tamale Mac. Tamale, what a pass.
25 Roosters players throwing him out, and he goes inside to Hudson.
And then everything started happening exactly to my plan of Roosters being absolute idiots. Then, wasn't it, what was it, the Owen Paddy, sorry, for them to get down there, Owen Paddy kicks the 40-20, one of the best 40-20s I've seen from dummy half. Reed Marnie, back in the day at Para, he has a boot on him. What a kick. Then Tarpany scores. Then Strange scores. The Strange try, I actually told the same. Billy Smith comes out of the line. This is Roosters DNA right here. Billy Smith comes firing out the line to get KO Weeks and obviously misses him like an idiot. And I was like, if he runs there, they're going to score. And they literally part the Red Sea for one of the fastest players in our competition. And Raiders are just quick in general. Savage was on one side, Strange was on the other. Of course, they're going to fucking score. And then Roosters score their consolation crap at the end to think they might win a game. But just same old Roosters. What did I tell you, cunts? They find a way to lose. They're literally the Dallas Cowboys of the NRL. They just find a way to lose. And this time, it's not even that they're not talented. That's what's frustrating. I can't believe people actually can support this team. Like, they go out there and give it their all, give it 100% effort, and actually are the better team, and they still lose. That's what's fascinating. Because they deserve to win today, but they're just idiots.
I have no idea how they lost.
Oh, wait. Before.
The Victor Radley head dog?
Trent Robinson, like, do you, like, the disregard to be like, oh, that's Radley, don't play him? Like, him being there or not, nothing would have changed the way you cunts played or not. Because you cunts fucked it up without him and with him. It didn't matter. You cunts were going to fuck it up because Roosters. But the fact that you don't have the awareness to be like, that's Radley, I don't care if it's a cat 1, cat half, cat 2, it doesn't mean anything. He cannot come out and play again. You say, yeah, it's fucking, he passed.
Oh, he passed? Oh, yeah, throw him out there.
Throw him out there. What the fuck? Like, do you think about this guy's life, his family? Like, after footy, this guy's fucked. Like, he's one of the worst out of all of them, I would say. Yeah. And I don't want to, like, go back too much history with Trent Robinson, but there's 2 players on your team that literally retired because of this. And you still fucking running Radley out there. Like,
in the same game.
You didn't learn your lesson.
If I was Trent Robinson, I'd be like, first of all, I'd sit Victor down and be like, Victor, you need to retire. There's no like long-term thing of you being able to continue playing. All right, Victor, you're a grown man. You get to make your own decisions. You want to play. I understand. You can play. If there's the slightest head knock of any game, I'm taking this cunt out. And whoever did the independent concussion test on him, I don't know how he passed in the first place because he was clearly concussed
and he dropped
upon contact. But even if someone was to tell me that, hey, Victor's passed his concussion, he's ready to go, I'd be like, fuck no. Yeah. He's not going back on. But
if he gets a head knock in any scenario, he doesn't play the rest of the game, at least.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason.
I really feel for Victor, and I hope he's okay and this doesn't happen to him again. But for a neutral observer, just trying to watch a good game of footy, I was like visibly uncomfortable seeing him on the floor, like with concussion symptoms, and then seeing him run out there with it in its change card 15 minutes later just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
100%. Oh wait, I feel one other the grub of New South Wales. Listen, I understand all the news has been you that Queensland haven't kicked the ball to you. Did you even? What was the point of you playing today?
Then you?
Yeah. All right, Queensland didn't kick you the ball. You're pissed off. You look at Tarpany, you're like, yeah, all right, we're gonna fucking lose. This is not Queensland. The whole forward pack, and I've said it for weeks. These cunts all need to be ashamed of themselves. Honestly, Collins to Lidiu to Watson. What did Watson do today? Come off the bench as well. Angus Crichton. Just the mentality of these cunts is like, I don't understand. Like, it actually doesn't make sense to me. They played awful.
From my perspective, probably one of the worst losses of the season as far as Roosters going up 18-8 and losing that game. First half was an interesting contest. Raiders had probably 65% of possession.
For good reason.
The field position through Roosters' own stupidity. Fair enough. Chris alluded to the moments in the game. The Mark Nwanga Nituase try. The no try for Raiders and the 12-point swing and Roosters scoring immediately after. Did Roosters do a lot well on their goal line in terms of constantly repelling Canberra for 5 hours in spite of them having all the ball to only have 4 points at halftime? Absolutely. They get a lot of credit from that.
I give them a little bit, like, I felt like Raiders in the second half offensively played a lot better.
Yeah, they
did.
The first half
didn't throw much, but
Raiders didn't throw much, but what
it doesn't matter.
Throw, Roosters, like, to only concede 4 with that much possession was pretty good.
If you're on your line, like I always respect the on-line defense. They defended it really well. Hard. So that's fine, even though they didn't do much.
Some of the errors were just like, Nwanga Nituase catching it and trying to go down the short side and get thrown out. They score immediately off that error. And that's just one that's very easy to not do. Yeah. You know, like that's just boneheaded and it's typical from Roosters. Errors, more errors.
But once wasn't enough for him.
Anyway, so we move on to the second half. Owen Paddy kicks the 40-20 straight after halftime. They score in 2 seconds. Tupou scores that garbage try to make it 18-8. And at this point, it's 3 tries to 2. You're up 10 because they've missed all their goals. And from Tupou scoring, I was like, the floodgates should open. You guys should actually just steamroll this Canberra team. They are coming from a big win in New Zealand. And to look at Canberra's resume, down 14-0 to Melbourne, they win. Down 8-0 at Warriors, they win. Now down 18-8 against the Roosters without Fogarty, they win. The only game they actually lost was when they were up 20-0, which is hilarious in its own way. But I say that to say mad respect to the Raiders for just week in, week out, regardless of how the game's going, how much rest they've had, who's playing, who's not playing. You get the same level of heart and passion and commitment from this Raiders team.
100%.
And it's mad respect to them because at 18-8, they had every reason to give up and fucking lose, and they should have lost. But the Roosters gave them enough of a sniff, and they're turning into one of those sides now that it's just really fucking hard to beat them. So mad respect to the Raiders, but for what Roosters had dished out up till full time from that point was just fucking shit. And I put this game in the same bracket, and these cunts keep adding to this bracket week after week.
Yeah.
What do I come on every week and I'm like, Roosters could easily have like 8 wins, right? And you go through them all. The Souths one was still the worst one.
Yeah, 100%.
You had the Warriors one where you cunts couldn't score. You gave Titans a win, which only Knights have done that outside of you guys. There's the Dogs one where
They literally played great.
you literally played awesome and just quit for no reason. And now you take on the Starling and Fogarty-less Raiders off a 7-day turnaround at Allianz Stadium with all your Origin players back. You lead 18-8. They can't score. They can't really do anything. And for no reason, you guys just concede what was it? They went up 26-18 at some point, right? So that's 18 points in like 15 minutes. You just conceded for no reason. Yeah. And the infuriating thing about you is you were actually still capable of getting that Rabbitohs try.
Yeah.
So there's every reason that you could have still won if you just didn't concede the pointless Kyle Weeks line break. Yeah. Where Billy Smith thinks he's fucking Rambo, and you know in slow motion he's going to go and miss the tackle, they're going to quit.
Yeah.
So they are good enough to be like, I swear to God, in my heart of heart, I think if Roosters weren't the degenerates that they were, they could genuinely finish the season like 5th on the ladder.
Oh, yeah.
Especially thinking that Sam Walker's coming back.
100%. It's Roosters being Roosters.
The way I see the interchange of play between like Angus Crichton, Tedesco, Robert Toya, Tupou, Nwanga Nituase, Billy Smith, Sandon Smith. I think Hugo Savala is 10 times better than Townsend
100%.
was. He's playing awesome. Connor Watson has a go like every other week. Victor's playing okay when he's actually out there, the poor guy. And just for no reason, I can count like 7 games that you just fucking gave away.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating
They're
to
their own
watch.
worst enemy. Like, that's all they are.
Because my approach, Chris, when I like picking sides or who I think is value, whatever, I'm like, I fundamentally can't account for a team playing like retards.
Yeah.
But with Roosters, it's like, no, that's their identity. They're just the same way I'm like, well, it's Warriors' identity that they're just like hang in and get tough, gritty wins, even though they're not that good of a side. Roosters are genuinely like a way better side than Warriors in my eyes. Warriors would give their kidney up for Tedesco and
100%.
Crichton and all these
100%.
cunts. Collins, Lenu, you name it. But it's just week after week, it's like, oh yeah, like we threw this offload at the wrong time, and this guy stepped out then, and yeah, fuck, like it all got too hard at the end, and we concede the Kyle Weeks try.
Yeah, well,
and it's just way too consistent for me to give like.
They try to put a shot on it and just.
Yeah, it's just garbage. So Robbo, like I don't even know what you say in the press conference, but it's got to be driving you like Roosters fans, like do you not get infuriated by your own team?
No,
is it just me and you sitting here being like, what's
so
wrong
much.
with them?
They're so good.
God, they're annoying sometimes, but that's the way it goes.
But that's the Roosters.
Look, I'm going to be a glass half full guy. There was every reason for Raiders to go out and lose. Pre-game, mid-game,
post-game,
60 minutes into the game, but they went out and they won again, and I give them mad props for that. That was a great fucking win.
Look, this is a top 8, this is a top 3, top 4 team, like in the making. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll finish top 2 because I think Dogs and Melbourne probably run away with it. But I think you guys I definitely deserve where you are. The way that you guys play and the fact Fogarty can just drop out and the team plays the same way, plays Ricky's way, regardless. Like what all the difference really was. Okay, Fogarty is a big difference offensively and kicking game, but the kicks was just going 10 minutes shorter, like 15 minutes shorter because it's Sanders kicking it instead of Fogarty, and they were like, okay, yeah, but we just got to defend harder. And literally, what Raiders do really well is when the other team fucks up, they get them straight away. And Roosters have fucked up too many times.
Too many times, yeah.
If they look. truly, you guys were lucky that fucking Fogarty didn't play. If you play like this and Fogarty played, it would have been 30-0 at half time.
Probably, yeah.
They would have never, like, the amount of points they would have scored with that much possession would have been like, oh, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are Roosters supposed to come back from this? So, because Fogarty didn't play and then you guys defended your line really well, everyone was like, oh, these guys should win from here. Even at 18-8, I was like, they should win from here. Come on, they can't be that bad. But then, you know, there's always something inside of me, like, thinking, do you remember when they fucked it up to South? Do you remember when they fucked it up to Dogs? Do you remember when they fucked it up to Titans? It just takes like 10 minutes of them playing like idiots and they fuck it up.
Yeah,
like that's
I totally
all it
agree
is.
with you. And it's just way too consistent. That's just
Way too consistent.
So yeah,
swap Adam O'Brien, Trent Robinson.
Yeah. So at this point, like we had essentially a favourites round. Manly win as short price underdogs, $2.15. They might have been. Titans covered.
Well, there's a reason why we run this round.
Another moron covered, didn't they? Tigers covered, which is the biggest morons of all.
Well, it's a perfect round.
But
two upsets,
two underdogs covering, and a couple
three
favourites.
favourites.
Three favourites, yeah.
Four if you include New South Wales. Perfect. It's literally a perfect
Those
round.
are the rounds normally we kill it in, and
Yeah.
I thought we did really good.
Yeah.
6-2. I'd be pretty happy
Exactly.
with that.
So
Feel a little bit dudded because I feel like
can we just have some normality?
Roosters at -1.5 was a good bet, seeing as they closed at 4 and they were up 18-8. I was like 7-1 would be fantastic, but we can't complain with 6-2.
Well, what
I'm
really
happy with
should have
that.
happened is Para covered and lose, and then Roosters win.
Yeah.
But because Para like do that stupid dog dick try at the end,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
the big
I think
difference.
in our cursed rounds, we would have won on Dragons because that was just the right side. We would have won on New South Wales, which was the right side. Titans would have lost by like 16 and not covered. Tigers would have lost by 16 and not covered.
Manly would have won.
We would have got absolutely raped on the Broncos game. Warriors could have won by 2 or something stupid
Easily.
for no reason. We would have got backdoored by Souths. Para would have lost by 4 exactly,
Yep.
and then Raiders would have won outright, and we'd go like 1-7.
Yeah, that was every other round, right?
So the margins in the NRL are very small. Like 10 minutes in a game can cost you like a winning or losing weekend in the end.
Roosters.
So always appreciative of going 6-2. For those of you that are keen to make money on the NRL, we are giving out free every single play that we take for the month of June.
Yep.
Make sure you visit the Back Yourself Instagram page and website to get in the daily free play group chat where we're going to be sending everything out. You would have made good money this round, gone 6-2 with us, and we know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to the footy, so don't miss out on that opportunity. Your 3 key takeaways of the round, Chrissy.
Let's start with
I miss Dolphins.
Titans aren't as bad as everyone thinks they are.
Yep.
Think they're awful, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad. They're awful, but they're not last potential. That's already reserved for Knights. Should I add Knights in? Nah, I kind of knew what Knights.
Tigers.
Broncos. There's no words for you cunts. Like, honestly, my last 2 will be Broncos, and the last one of all, Roosters, you are truly your worst enemy. Like, fuck me. Like, there's no reason to lose today. At all.
Yeah. I would say another gritty, unconvincing, but well-deserved win from the Wars. You stack another one in, that's good. Raiders, truly you guys impressed me as to there was every reason for you cunts to lose and you just didn't again. That screams top 4 in my eyes.
It does.
And the third one, I got to give him some credit. Para.
Oh, Para. Wow, all Sundays.
I owe you guys an apology. You guys.
You don't want to say anything about Broncos or Cowboys? Oh, Cowboys. Someone has to say something about Cowboys.
we said enough in this segment. I think Broncos, you're the true disgrace of the sport, as you were 3 weeks ago. So moving on from them. Yeah, Para, you're turning the table. I'm proud of you guys.
Good job, Riles.
Excellent work, Riles. And we move on from that. Thank you for tuning into the 5-hour episode of the Back Yourself podcast. It was a great round. We'll be back 48 hours from now to talk about Knights kicking us off on Thursday. Will they score more than 10
Dolphins
points?
are back.
I miss Dolphins, Dogs,
Oh, Roosters
Sharks.
don't play. They're going to go in there
Roosters
by and
can go and
really
give
think.
up. That's good. Obviously, the Queen's birthday, the annual Dogs vs Para game, where I think this is the first time Dogs will be favourites in fucking 10
Fuck
years.
me, yeah.
Shout out to Matt and Chris Crease for that one. We'll be talking Galvin running out in the blue and white.
Where's he going to start?
But until then, we'll see you guys after team lists are announced on Tuesday. Let's Oge.
Peace.